Hey everyone, this is just a short yoga sequence that I think will be great after a run. It's going to get mainly into your hamstrings and your hips, so take it easy, press pause if you need to, and enjoy your practice. Come up to standing in the middle of your mat and just bring your hands together at heart center. We're going to warm up, so inhale, reach the arms up overhead, exhale, drop the shoulders, and then just start slowly stretching over from side to side so we can stretch out the side waist, the side of the top of the hip, and just kind of feel that area starting to open up and warm up. So move nice and freely and breathe quite freely as well here. Keeping the feet rooted to the mat, stretching up from fingers to toes. Bring the arms down to the side of the body and just gently warm up the neck by dropping the head slowly back, and then tucking the chin and dropping the head forward. Come back to center and take the head from side to side, stretching the ear towards the upper shoulder, just nice and gently. Bring the fingertips to the shoulders, make a few circles with the elbows in the air just to warm up the shoulders, making big or small circles in both directions, just warming up that area. And then bring the hands down, inhale as you sweep them back up. And have a go at this one, take the right hand back, left hand forward, make some big circles stretching through to the fingertips, and then slowly change direction. Try and reverse, taking the other hand back, one hand forward again. We're just warming up the shoulders a little bit more, so just have fun with this one. Take it nice and easy. Come all the way up and then reach the hands down. Step the feet a little wider, put the hands on the hips and make some circles, going round, kind of from side to side, back to front, stretching out the lower back, the hips and the hip flexors, maybe even the hamstrings. Change directions of the circles and just go kind of around as you feel, really. Just kind of feel your way through this one. Slowly come back to center, and we're going to warm up the feet just by flexing the toes against the floor, just moving gently, making some circles with the toes against the mat, and then shift your weight over and try the other side, just again massaging the toes against the floor, making a few circles, kind of warms up the ankles, the toes, brings a little bit of mobility into those joints. Now make your way to the top of the mat and just come to standing in mountain pose, hands by the side of the body, palms facing forward. And just feel the spine lengthening from the crown of the head down to the feet. Stand nice and tall. Bring the hands together at heart center and just set a small intention for today's class, maybe to focus on your breathing or stretching out. Inhale, reach the arms up, bend the knees, and hinge forward to come into a forward bend with the knees bent. Inhale, reach the chest, lengthen forward, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, maybe straighten the legs, it's not essential. Get ready for a nice forward bend and then step the right foot all the way back into a lunge. You can do this nice and slowly in 1 or 2 stages. But then pivot forward around that back right foot, stretching out the toes again, the back right foot. And then slowly come to center so you can step the left foot back and make your way into plank pose. Now look for a nice straight line from the crown of the head through to the heels here, keeping the core engaged. And you can lower to the mat in chaturanga or drop the knees and make your way all the way down to the floor. Straighten out the legs, lengthen the spine behind you, and then take a mini back bend. So inhale, lift the chest, draw the shoulder blades together behind you, maybe lift the hands off the mat, but then drop down and start to press up so you can take child's pose. Drop the tailbone towards the heels, stretch the hands out on the mat in front of you, and just take a few rounds of breath here, breathing into the back so you can stretch out the back of the rib cage, and then sinking down to the mat with the exhale. Inhale, come to tabletop, so a nice flat back on hands and knees, and then move through a few rounds of cat-cow, inhaling as you reach up and exhaling as you stretch out like a cat. Move with your own breath, and just feel the spine warming up here, just taking a few kind of deep inhales and exhales as you move through cat and then back to cow, just moving nice and slowly. And then prepare to make your way to downward dog. So tuck the toes under, lift the knees up and keep them bent as you lift up the hips as high as you can, and then slowly straighten out the legs. You might like to bend the knees a couple of times here and then pedal the feet, walk the dog, whatever you like to call it. Just slowly stretch one ankle down towards the ground. Remember, this is your first downward dog, so really just don't worry about the heels touching the ground. We're going to prepare now to shift forward, so look up and then you're going to step the feet slowly towards the top of the mat. So come to a forward bend at the top of the mat. And just fold deeply, bending the knees again if you need to, and roll up to standing, making sure the head is the last thing that comes up when you reach the top. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead again, and bring the hands to heart center in a prayer position. Inhale, reach up, exhale, sweep forward, maybe keep the legs straight this time. Inhale, lift the body to halfway, stretching out the spine. And then prepare to step the left foot back into a low, long lunge and gaze forward as you pivot around the back left foot this time. So just really stretching out that back left foot here, and then slowly step the right foot to meet the left in plank. And then you can drop the knees or lower to the mat, chaturanga to the floor, stretch out the legs behind you, and take a slightly deeper back bend this time, just using your core, strengthening up the lower back, and then drop the head, push up and make your way back to a child pose with the knees nice and wide this time. So breathing into the belly, drop the forehead to the floor, bring the fingers to touch just in front of you so you can relax the shoulders. And take a few rounds of deep breath here, just relaxing down towards the mat, breathing nice and evenly. And then slowly start to prepare to lift up again. So pressing the body into the floor, come to kneeling. I'm just going to stretch out the top of the feet here. You could always sit on a block or a towel if that feels a little bit uncomfortable. This is just an optional stage. Prepare to make your way to downward dog again, so tuck the toes under, keep the knees bent, or straighten the legs and slowly sink the heels away, just so you feel an opening through the back of the legs. Keep the tailbone as high as you can towards the sky, and then pedal out the feet. Maybe even move from side to side here a little bit. You can look under one arm as you just transition your weight from side to side across the mat. And then start to walk the hands back towards the feet and step them nice and wide off the mat, maybe 2 or 3 feet off the mat. So we're going to take a gentle side stretch for the inner thigh, kind of a side lunge here, keeping the weight down and back through the heels. You can get really deep into this if that feels good, but you can stay high by supporting your weight on your fingertips. So just move, kind of keep this flowing, kind of move from side to side. You can flex the feet, point the toes. And then we're going to prepare for a wide-legged forward bend. So press the outer edges of the feet into the mat and then slowly draw yourself forward between the legs, hands supporting you on the ground. Drop the head down between the legs and just gently look back. And then slowly deepen the pose if you'd like to by walking the hands back through the legs. So just breathe and hold here, keeping the feet pressing into the floor. That keeps the legs actively engaged. And then walk the hands forward, lift the head. And then slowly to move the feet together, turn the feet heel, toe, and bring them all the way back to the center of your mat. Take a forward bend and then slowly roll up to standing, coming all the way up nice and slowly. Shake the hands and the feet out to just let them relax and walk up to the top of your mat. Bring the hands together at heart center and inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you fold forward, coming down into a bend. And you can always bend the knees here to protect the hamstrings if they feel tight. We're going to slowly step the right foot back into a lunge again and drop the right knee to the floor to make your way to a low crescent lunge. Stabilize here using your core, take the arms overhead and then stretch them forward in a Jupiter mudra. Breathe and hold here, stabilizing through the feet and the back right foot. And then stretch the hands out behind you, interlace the fingers for a gentle chest stretch. You might even like to lift the chest, lift the chin, gently sink the hips down. But again, move to somewhere where you feel comfortable. Slowly release the hands, bring them down to the mat so you can step the left foot back and make your way to plank. Lower down to the floor in chaturanga. And then we're going to deepen the back bend. You can come to up dog with the knees on the ground or take full up dog. And then make your own way back to a downward dog, however you feel comfortable. Stretch out the legs and then slowly look forward and make your way back, stepping the right foot forward now, left foot back on the ground. So come to low crescent lunge, stretching the arms overhead. And then forward into Jupiter mudra, reaching again down through the feet, keeping the core engaged. And then inhale, sweep the arms around behind you, interlace the fingers in the opposite way, and take a chest stretch here again. So drop the fingers down as you lift the heart, lift the chest, inhale. And then slowly exhale, release the hands back to the floor, tuck the left toes under so you can step that foot up to the top of the mat. Hang over the legs for a second, forward bend, and then roll up to standing. Again, moving slowly here. Bring the hands to heart center, take a nice round of breath. And then inhale, sweep the arms up again. And exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips down into a forward bend. Lift to halfway, this just stretches out the back. And then exhale, fold forward. Step the right foot back again into a low lunge. And we're going to come to a high crescent lunge here. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And then exhale and rotate through the waist to take a nice twist. Stretch through the fingertips, keep the spine nice and tall. Keep rooting through the front left foot, and then bring the hands up. And exhale over to warrior two, arms as the legs stay in that high crescent lunge. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, sweep them down to the side and around that front foot. Step the left foot back, come to plank. Lower down to the mat, chaturanga if you feel comfortable. And inhale, roll up, upward dog. And then just take a nice stretch here and make your way back to a downward dog. Again, as you feel comfortable, pedal out the feet. This is always a great chance to take a little extra stretch for the back of the legs. So this is a stretch for the outside of the right hip, good for the right IT band. Slide the right foot through and underneath the left foot. And then switch sides. Take the left foot, thread it underneath the right. Press the outer edge of the foot against the floor here to get a little stretch through the outer edge of that left hip, left IT band. And then slowly slide your feet back, come to downward dog, and then look forward, and we're going to step the right foot up between the hands to come to a high crescent lunge on the second side. So inhale, take the arms up, and then prepare to twist through the waist, dropping the hands, reach through the fingertips, keep the feet rooted to the floor, and then slowly inhale, lift up so you can exhale, warrior two, arms, keeping the feet and legs exactly where they are. Inhale, slowly lift the arms up. And then exhale, release the hands to the floor and step the left foot up to the top of the mat, come to a forward bend. Slowly inhale, lift up halfway, exhale, fold and roll up to standing, nice and slowly. Maybe do a few shoulder rolls when you get to the top. Just release any little bits of tension there, hugging them forward and back, just making circles. And then shake out the hands and feet and make your way down to the mat. So make your way slowly onto your back, keep the knees bent, feet are flat on the floor. And we're going to thread the needle, so cross the right ankle over the left thigh and then interlace the fingers behind that thigh. Flex the feet so your toes are kind of drawing towards you. And this is a great hip opener. You can move around here, you can rock from side to side, straighten up that left leg, just kind of get comfortable. You can deepen the pose by pressing the right elbow into the thigh. And then take a little twist by releasing the hands down to the mat and rolling over onto your left hand side and look out over your right arm. Now you can hang out here for ages. It's a great spinal twist with the added hip opener. Then make your way back to center and we're just going to switch legs. So cross the left ankle over the right. Again, interlace the fingers behind the right thigh and then flex the toes, flex the feet. And then start to draw that right thigh in towards you to deepen the hip stretch. Again, you can kind of flex and point the foot, the leg, straighten it out, rock from side to side. Again, you can always press pause here if you want to kind of hang out here. It's a great hip opener. So to take the spinal twist, release the hands to the mat and slowly roll the legs over to the right as you look out over your left arm. And this is a nice spinal twist all the way through from the crown of the head to the feet. Add a little hip stretch with the leg in the figure four position. Again, slowly draw the legs back to center, release the foot to the floor, and then just hug the knees in towards the chest, wrapping the arms around the shins and just gently rock from side to side. You can add the twist by taking the knees to the left, chest to the right. You could always make some circles, one hand on each kneecap, kind of almost stirring the femur in the hip joint if you like. And then you can come to happy baby. This is a great hip opener. Reach up, place the hands around the sole of the feet and draw the knees down. You can kind of pedal the feet, rock from side to side. This is a great stretch, starting to kind of cool down now, kind of winding down. So let the shoulders relax, let the head feel heavy against the floor. And just release the feet back down towards the mat. Bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees relax out to the side. And we'll just move to Baddha Konasana. Just allow the breathing to soften and allow everything to slow down. You can stay here for Shavasana, or if you'd like to move into a full corpse pose, just stretch the legs out on the mat in front of you, release the ankles, release everything down to the ground and close the eyes. Just feel gravity taking over here, a great opportunity to allow the body to now recover, rejuvenate, and just feel all the good efforts that you've done kind of moving through the body. Whenever you're ready to move out of Shavasana, roll over onto your right hand side and just make your way up to a nice easy cross-legged position. Anything that's nice and comfortable. You could do half lotus or just easy cross-legged. Just get nice and comfortable. And for the end of class, bring your hands together and we'll bow together. Namaste.